4, 3, 2, showtime.
Greetings and good afternoon to all the listeners and viewers on the Primal 4K app, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and also our listeners on Fit FM 96.7. Welcome to Primal Sports Center. I'm your host, Dale.
And I'm Kane the Schwab Watson. Back again, different time this week. Due to the time change, we're on now at 3 p.m. But, another exciting jam-packed show. And, really and truly, we don't know where to start. But
yes,
we have no guest today, unfortunately. But, we have a lot of sports to talk about nonetheless. And we'll kick things off with world sport, football. An exciting week for football. Of course, we have to talk about the Reggae Boys. We talk about Champions League, the Europa League, the new World Cup format. Yes, in 2026, there will be a new World Cup format. So before we dive into all the other sports, we have to kick off things with football. And, a lot of interesting topics to talk about. Upcoming schedule for the Reggae Boys, last Reggae Boys performances. So we'll start there before we touch into the international scene, where we touch on the likes of Man City and Real Madrid and the whole World Cup format, and Manchester United doing well in the Europa League, because we know a lot of Manchester United fans here in Jamaica. I still don't understand it, but hey, Jamaicans like winners, and Man U was on top and they're heading back there and they have an interesting time. So later on in the show, we break that down for you. But Dale, what do you think of the Reggae Boys' performance over the last 2 matches against Trinidad, one in Catherine Hall and one in the National Stadium?
It was a poor performance. I can see what the coach is trying to do, but I don't think he has the right players. I think the players lack skill. It was horrible watching
it. You saw the pitch though.
It actually looked a little bit better.
A little bit better, but still not ideal.
Yeah, it's still not. If
the coach always complain about the surface.
Yeah, but for me, I think the level of the players in terms of skill level, they just look so uncomfortable with the ball at their feet. So, and I think that's a big problem.
And you blame it on the coach?
No, that I'm saying, I can see what the coach is trying to do, but I'm saying the players that he has, I don't think they're going to cut it. The skill level is, for me, is just too low. They look very uncomfortable with the ball. And as a footballer, if you're not comfortable with the ball at your foot.
But we saw a lot of players out there that apply their trade in Europe.
Well, for me,
and to the best football is played in Europe. So,
well, football is
in top academies like Chelsea, Hutchinson, Tyler Roberts.
I would say something to you. You see, sometimes when you talk about these big leagues, there's so many clubs out there, and a lot of the time is about marketing and who have the money to market the players and get the players out there too. As I'm sure you have great players out there that can't even that's playing in a Division 3 league within their own country. That could
but
well
to apply
be playing.
Training in the EPL, you must be.
I don't rate these players. I don't think they're comfortable with the ball. I watch them enough. I watch them enough over time, and I don't think they're comfortable with the ball. I don't see any touch. I don't see any composure. I see Mariappa there at the back, and he's just kicking out the ball. It was horrible.
The captain Mariappa.
It was horrible.
Playing for Jamaica for the past, I think, 11 years.
But
now the elder statesman. You have no confidence in Mariappa.
None whatsoever. None of the players that I saw on that field. Ravel was playing in a more defensive role. I think that's not his best position. So Ravel was a little bit out of the game as well. But overall, I don't see anything to talk about from the players. I say our Dejan Richards didn't get much service on the pitch. Show a little glimpse here and there. Took a wonderful shot there in the first half.
But what about his touch compared to the other touch?
It didn't get the ball as much.
Didn't get the ball as much.
As a matter of fact, probably didn't get the ball at all, really.
Okay.
If you really look at it.
So you're saying the playmakers that we're trying to employ are not the best?
I think the defense is horrible, and I think the playmakers that we have, they're just, they're
so looking
good.
Forward, we have a more to choose from the pool. We have likes of
I think we're in
Damien Lowe.
I think Damien Lowe.
No, I'm just saying this is not the actual 11 that will play. I know the likes of Liam Bailey to come in, Mikel Antonio, but from what you have seen from these two performances, I think you're giving them a bit of a hard grade, and I think I'm the hard grader. I think we should give them more chances, but definite talent is there, and I think as a team sport, you need to play together.
Talent.
No, I'm just saying.
I don't-
We have to start. There's talent there, but
I
you
don't
have to
think
put
this-
in the work.
I don't think this team have any talent. The team that I saw, I don't
Nobody.
think-
Amari Hutchinson, Tyler Roberts.
No, I don't. Based on what I'm used to seeing, no. You know, maybe I'm comparing them to to the guys that I'm used to seeing
even
from
doing
back
Atkinson,
then.
give him more chances. Local player.
I don't have a problem with the local players.
Oh, you have a problem with the foreign-based players?
No, I don't have a problem with the foreign-based player. What I have a problem with is just the talent that I'm seeing out there.
The problem I have is that they playing together. The time they spend together playing, they have work. They have to go abroad and play on their teams, and then they come. They play for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
International break. They don't get much time to build a cohesive unit. So we're always going to be faced with that, and individualism will always play a factor with who will give it that brilliant play or that brilliant goal. Hence the likes of Liam Bailey, Mikel Antonio, when they come into the fray, Shamar Nicholson. But overall, we have a large pool to choose from, and we have things coming up this year, because later on in the year we have CONCACAF Nations League, and we have the Gold Cup in June.
Yes, and you said we were supposed to play Mexico.
Supposed to play Mexico on March
26th.
26th.
That's next week Sunday.
Next week Sunday. I'm supposed to play Guatemala April 15th, the next two friendlies.
Yeah.
So I said, after these 2 matches, we have give them a better grade.
Give them more time.
More time. And the coach again needs more time to see which team and who is going to go forward, because really and truly we have a lot of players to choose from.
Well,
And we have foreign-based players like crazy with Jamaican heritage,
Yes.
always willing to come into the fray.
Yes.
And
the foreign rejects.
I wouldn't say rejects.
The ones who can't make England team, the English team.
English team to me is kind of overrated. If you ask
It's
me.
overrated. Well,
I think Sterling will do better in the Jamaica team.
Sterling.
Yeah, I see him since week. I was in Jamaica. I see him since week in the club. I walk past him and say big ball, and him turn around and heal. Heal me and give me another. I don't know if I have the superstar mentality. Peter, that superstar mentality that we talk about. That they're above us, but Sterling cool. But yeah, back to the Reggae Boys. I have jam-packed here, because CONCACAF Nations League is later on in October, November. And I said the Gold Cup is in June 24th to July 16. And I think we can do good in these competitions.
I think so, but not sorry to cut you again, but I'd love to see Tyreek McGee back in the Reggae Boys squad. He's one that I know that
but you remember these guys can't play every friendly,
That is true.
And these are friendlies.
I agree with it.
That is true.
These guys can't play every friendlies,
We want to see more players like the Maggies and players like that.
Players that have already had international caps.
Yes,
Some of these players that played over the weekend kind of new first international cap.
It's a nerves played a part.
Nerves, and plus, no matter how big of a player, represent your country going out there, and then you want to showcase it and to probably overperform or even underperform, so to say. You play out of shots when instead of letting the game come to you, you kind of force it, and then you get an opportunity on the ball, and then you do foolishness.
Yes,
because you want to perform and be like, I
want to impress the coach.
And you grow up and be like, all right, go play for Jamaica, play for our country. No matter how big you are, to represent a country. I know what's at stake and what's ahead. Always looking forward and not being in the present. And they're youths.
Yeah, well,
give them time. And it's better to make the mistakes now. When time come now for the qualifiers, and we know Peter and you going to be down hard on them.
Yeah.
That's when you give them the cussing. But give them time. These friendlies, we need to play more friendlies.
I agree.
Even though it's Trinidad, and I always think we're better than Trinidad.
It's still a match, though.
It's still a match, and we want the result. And
to be honest,
I see comments online saying
I don't know who will really say that we're better than Trinidad, because when I saw
always have that mindset.
The mindset, because when the Trinidad ballers, to me, they look more composed, and they look
and they probably play more together than the Jamaicans.
Probably, and then they have good facilities down there in Trinidad as well. So
speaking like a true Trini,
yeah.
I know you travel the islands,
Yeah,
you probably go away soon again, you travel. We touch on that later again.
Yeah, no, you will need to touch on that part.
I'll wait till the controversy boss is midway point, because I'm sure you have something to say about that topic as well. But
we can't leave the local. But I've been bigging up. I heard you mentioned something earlier about Bonnie Shaw and
Bonnie Shaw and Andre Blake got nominated for CONCACAF Men's and Women's Player of the Year. So that's also a note to point out.
Yes.
Getting nominated shows that they're in the region two of the top players
Yeah.
within their gender for their sports. So Andre Blake, Bunny Shaw getting nominated. Not sure if they will win,
Yeah.
but
I think Bunny Shaw will win that award though.
Yeah,
Based
over-
on her performances so far. Well, I don't know.
over
if
the Americans.
Yeah.
But
for
she's
real.
definitely, and she's leading Man City in goals.
Of course.
Yeah. Andre Blake doing his thing there in the MLS also. I think he has a better chance of finishing up in the top. Because to me, he's a premier player within our region.
Yeah.
And a top goalkeeper. I don't know why he hasn't applied his trade more in Europe, but
I think a lot of these things, it's like what Craig Butler is doing.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to marketing. You know, you have a lot of footballers out there in Africa, the continent of Africa alone. So Andre Blake probably needs somebody to help push him in terms of marketing.
I think he's doing good in MLS. I think he won 3 Keeper of the Year awards in MLS.
Of course.
I think 3.
So like everybody was wondering why he's not getting one of those contracts in one of those big top leagues in Europe.
But,
and everybody wants to go Europe.
Yeah,
hands down. Everybody wants to go
Europe.
Europe.
Is where, that's like
prestige. Everything is over Europe in terms of tradition. Yeah.
Tradition, money, big name clubs. Why not try to achieve?
I love to see him though. I think he deserves it.
I think he's better than some of these keepers that see even applying their trade in EPL.
Of course.
But I mean,
that's my point that I was making. Yeah. It comes down, a lot of it in the modern time, it comes down to marketing and getting your name out there.
Yeah. But even so, with all this said with the Reggae Boys, everything is, with all these performances, friendlies, the Gold Cup, the CONCACAF Nations League, everybody wants to see the Reggae Boys in the World Cup. And everything is geared to 2026 World Cup. And this 2026 World Cup now, to touch on the World Cup, is going to have a different format. And it's going to have more teams. And I don't see why the Reggae Boys can't qualify. I think we'll now have 6 nations from our region.
Yeah.
I think Africa now will have 9 nations jumping up from 5 or 4. Is it? I have to double check that. But overall, there will be 48 teams now in this World Cup.
Is the World
from a stretch of coming from 32.
Is it?
We'll have 104 games.
Yeah.
Let me break down the format. 104 games. We'll have 12 groups of 4. With 3 games played, everybody play everybody in the group. So 12 groups of 4 coming from 8 groups of 4. The max games a team can play is 8 games, jumping up from 7. And now you will have top 2 teams from each group and 8 best third place teams. That's the new format, 48 teams. I don't know if I like this format. To me, the World Cup is elite.
Yeah, I think it's
But even so, this gives the opportunity more now to a nation like Egypt, who we never see Mo Salah playing in the World Cup. Norway, maybe with Erling Haaland. We saw the likes of Sweden not qualifying, the likes of Italy not qualifying. So we'll have more big names with all these countries, more Cinderella stories like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But
so
all in all,
you think CONCACAF deserve six spots?
Well, we have 4. Why not 2 more?
Based on the level of CONCACAF.
I mean, Costa Rica didn't do too bad. They beat Germany. Is it? Yeah, Germany.
I think the World Cup is gonna water it down. Yeah, man. I don't think CONCACAF deserve six.
It's a
six
good thing
spots.
Messi win it before it watered down, because you guys will be. You can imagine if Messi won a World Cup like this. Oh, Messi win a watered down World Cup. Oh, it can't be the good. And
but I can agree with Europe. Because of the level. I think you should award more spots based on the level.
But even so, the level will rise in the other regions from this, I think.
From
I think the level
exposure to the World Cup and
exposure to the World Cup, exposure to the world, players from who are stars,
giving more opportunities to get in contracts and playing professional and better football for the lesser teams. That's what you're saying.
Let us see it first. I'm not so sold on it yet. After that World Cup, we'll see if we like it, yes or no. But this is what it is. We'll have to accept it. And more games, more teams, more excitement,
more money
for
FIFA.
For entertainment for us as well. We as onlookers, because sports is about entertainment. And imagine a little team like, for example, say Norway, and we see Erling Haaland banging in goals in the World Cup. getting a chance because to me he'll probably never get a chance to play the World
with a
Cup.
team like Norway.
Yeah. Jamaica has a better chance of qualifying for the World Cup.
Well,
Let us cross our fingers and hope we can get there.
Can beat Panama or one of those.
So pound for pound, I think we can match with any of those teams.
Yeah.
I don't see why we're not qualifying for the World Cup. To not get back there from 98 to me is more of bad succession planning. I think the blueprint was laid there, but we got left behind and we didn't, push forward. And to not get back there since 98, and 2026, that would be, what, 28 years on?
Yeah.
I don't see why we can't qualify next World Cup and make it a habit, especially with 48 teams and with the talent we have. Well, I said with talent, I know you and talent.
Yeah.
We're not really so. I agree. This talent is.
You think Jamaica as a whole? You think we're stepping up with the times? You think
not.
So how we gonna qualify for the next World Cup with our in all sports? It's all sports is been affected by we being stuck back in the 1990s thinking and the 2000 thinking. You think we're moving ahead?
Well,
in terms of
football more so than any other sport.
You think football is definitely
it could be moving further ahead, but in comparison to other sports, Jamaica is behind. As we said on almost every show, Jamaica is not a sporting country, and we don't invest in our sports as much until we reach.
I think Coach Halgrimson, if he had the chance to make a different choice to come here, I think he would have.
No, I think he would have still.
I think Coach Halgrimson would have still come.
I think he's
after when him come and him say everything, him complain about the food, him complain about this, him complain about that.
I wouldn't matter say I complain, but it's getting used to the culture.
Yeah.
Plus, he has a good track record.
And the last thing that he said too, that we're too laid back.
As a society?
Of course, even the way we walk and we behave, him want something to get done right now, and a man say, "Oh, I soon deal with it."
Yeah.
You know them kind of way.
Yep.
You think him that really take the job if him didn't know what he was getting himself into? I think the coach didn't know exactly what he was getting himself into.
So you think you'd back out if
they don't have the internet in Iceland?
I don't think he knew what the whole. Thing entail. I don't think so. I think if he had the choice to reverse the decision, yeah.
I think we have more to offer than Iceland, though.
Well.
And he made it happen with Iceland. Yeah. So why can't make it happen with Jamaica?
I'm saying complain about the food being laid back, not getting things done on time. That's very important, Yeah. When him asks for this and the man say, "Okay, I'm soon deal with it. I'm soon deal with that. That's them very. You know what I'm talking about."
How Summers did the job then? Because we had that mentality back then.
To be honest, I think Mr. Burrell was the driving force. We had a good leader at that time. To me,
we had more of a cohesive unit. Those guys played a lot of matches together.
Yes, it was different too. We didn't have a lot of international. Everybody was more local. They slept in the same facility.
What's his name? Left footer.
Baby?
No, man. Baby. We had him on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, Hector Wright?
Hector Wright. Who was telling us back in the day what they had to go through and hard times made them tough. And now these guys have a boots smash up, them just go get a boots. Back then, the boots smash up, they probably play with the boots. And they were more had a cohesive unit and grew together.
And Teagat Davis even mentioned that at every opportunity that was outside kicking a ball, you know what I mean? So that developed touch and that developed all kind of different things for the game of football. But as I say, I don't know if we're getting with the times. So I'm still skeptical about our chances of qualifying for the next
But
World
who
Cup.
coming up against though? You really think Panama and Costa Rica are that side of us?
They've been beat. It's not a matter of being headed. What about the planning? What about getting with the times?
That's why Coach Halgrimson is here.
So he's going to change all of that. You think that the GFF, the leadership of the GFF, and you know what's been happening in the GFF over the past 2 years. Flight arrangement. And missing flights.
Wow. So administration. I think you come down to
it's administration. That's exactly my point. Are we getting
the players alone and the coach can't do it?
You can't do it. You need something to be organized. Start from the top.
Yeah. It sounds a lot like table tennis too as well.
Exactly.
Again, that's a point we're going to touch on it because I might have some breaking news for you all later again. Because
but Captain Burrell was a strong leader.
Yeah.
Made things happen.
more of a dictator. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes
I
you
know,
need that.
more of in the Eastern world.
Yes, sometimes you need
the
a
Western
democratic thing. Sometimes though, you need a
Don't
dictator
cut
at
it.
times just to make things go.
There's pros and cons
smooth.
to that.
Yeah, because sometimes you have a voting one and it's a drawn out process, you know. So when you have somebody who's stern as a leader who just go up and just make a decision in the benefit of the team, it's most times it's more beneficial that way, you know. And I don't know if this JFF, Ricketts and all of them, I don't know. I just don't know if,
and we know
if
the
them
players,
can be organized
some
enough.
of the players been complaining about the administration as well.
For a long time.
For a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to qualify. I really don't know.
Yeah, we're just going off hope on the players.
FIFA is making it so easy for Jamaica to get back to the World Cup.
48 teams.
Yeah.
6 teams from our region.
Yeah.
Name 6 teams. I mean, why we can't qualify?
Canada is there already. America, Mexico. And the other 3, we have to beat Honduras, Costa Rica, and Panama.
Trinidad.
It's almost, all right.
I'm sure I'm leaving out somebody. El Salvador. Yeah.
You understand? So it's not no cakewalk.
No, I wouldn't say a cakewalk, but I think we can beat those guys.
Let us see.
And we have match winners. But it's just to get it together and get the results. Because even this last campaign, we conceded some late goals. Remember against Mexico, against USA, we had one poor performance in the office with the whole Topper thing and Panama, and then on the return leg we did better. But even so, remember that performance in the stadium against Panama? Administrative problems.
Yeah. So let us see.
So if we have to fix the head, and the administration,
and everything has to flow. Everything will be like a domino effect in the right way.
And then the players fighting more for their spots and don't feel they're automatic qualifiers will produce more.
Yeah, but the leadership just have to be
I think the leadership on the field, we have leaders out there, Andre Blake, and even in a podcast I see Andre Blake making mention of some players feeling they're like superstars. You know, and you must say that can't cut it, but then again these players who have that mentality still play.
Yeah, they're still in.
But that was on the top under a different administration, Paul Young. But I hope Coach Hallgrimson has that mindset where, hey, we're not starting. Not because you're a name baller and you play for yourself and you did do this and you did do that. He must have set it where, hey,
I think
team effort.
Yeah.
Work with the team, sacrifice for the team, and produce. Nobody feel like you can walk in and walk out and, you know, the egos and the personalities. No.
I think this coach
the team have to come together. All right, that's why.
Because he's outspoken. He's the most outspoking coach we have ever had. Foreign coach, that is. You know, Rene Simone spoke out a lot about this guy from him land.
Emma do work.
Him been talking about the things that have to change.
Emma do work.
Yes, so let we see.
Yeah. But it's all geared up for 2026, but we want results along the way.
It start now.
We want results. Go to Gold Cup, Nations League. I mean, Mexico and Guatemala coming up, but a lot of football for the Reggae Boys this year. And going forward, you know, soon World Cup qualifier campaign, and we see where we have a lot to choose from. And
let us not leave out our reggae girls, because you know they have the World Cup coming up, and I think Buddy Shaw is going to try and carry Jamaica to the second round, and that would be a great achievement on her part if she can carry Jamaica to qualify to the second round within the World Cup.
Ballers.
We have other baller, but she's obviously the biggest baller right now.
The name baller.
She's a name baller, even worldwide. You know, she's right up there with everybody. You know,
so
probably top 5.
You think we can come out of a group with? You have more optimism for the girls than the boys, though.
I think the women are the leaders right now in Jamaica. You know, so
in every sport.
Yes,
in every facet of life.
Yes. Right now, I think they are the ones who are carrying the flag high. You know, they're not letting us down. So I think. So
like you have a woman a lead, you know.
I think our reggae girls, you know, should put up a good show in this summer.
Yeah.
So really looking forward to that.
Definitely, I agree with you. And I will see it in track and field now. We see it in football. Reggae girls going, and we have a tough group though. I think it's France and Brazil.
Yes.
And one more team I can't remember off the top of my head now, but it's a tough group to come out of. But take it match by match and just wish them the best. I know they're flying the flag high.
Of course.
qualifying twice, and from 98 we can't get back there as Reggae Boys. But I have great hopes for 2026, especially with this format.
Yeah.
I mean, 48 teams, 104 games. You know, FIFA trying though, they're trying to mix up things and make it more exciting and always.
And I like the fact that
recreating
Africa,
the wheel.
as you say, Africa have 9 spots now.
I think 9
moving up
spots.
from 5.
Yeah,
that is
so more
good.
African teams. You will say, I mean, why not Egypt and the likes of who missed out? Nigeria,
Yeah.
the Super Eagles. But yeah, and Africa is a big continent.
Of course.
Why not give them more teams?
Yeah.
Mm.
So Morocco played well.
Yeah.
You know, so of course.
Going far.
And the Africans have them filling up all the leagues, the top leagues in the world. So give them more spots. You know, it's quality football these guys are playing over in the continent there.
Yeah. So, I mean, our next.
We know how to touch on the Champions League and the EPL.
Yeah, Champions League quarterfinals is set, and we have the likes of Benfica up against Inter, Man City up against Bayern. That to me, that's mouth-watering tie. Real Madrid versus Chelsea and Milan versus Napoli.
Real Madrid always there, man.
Oh, they own this.
When them quiet.
They own this competition.
Yeah,
and I think that Napoli will make it to the finals. Because Napoli against Milan, Napoli is playing with the and their half, they will play, the winner of Napoli Milan will play the winner of Benfica Inter. So the top half is loaded, where we see Man City Bayern, the winner of that will play Real Madrid Chelsea. And I have Napoli beating AC Milan and Benfica beating Inter. And Napoli Benfica, to me, that will be a tough tie. But right now, Man City Bayern, I'm stuck on who to choose, because the likes of Pep playing against his old club that he coached, Bayern, that he failed to win the Champions League to win, and against, well, he's coaching Man City, and Man City wants to win the Champions League, and we'll see where. I think Real Madrid will get over Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea is looking on the up now, playing better in the last few matches, but Real Madrid like they own this competition. So I have Real Madrid getting the better of Chelsea, and Man City Bayern, I will have to go with Man City. I'm leaning towards Man City.
Pep has been a failure in the Champions League.
In recent times.
Overall.
He won with Barcelona.
No, he won with Barcelona, but I thought that Pep
because he had the goal, he won?
Should have won more.
He should have won more.
Not that many times, but you think he's finally going to do it this time around?
Alex Ferguson
I feel Man City want to win this more than EPL. You know?
Yeah,
I think Pep want to win this title more than the EPL.
Erling Haaland said it himself. He said, they didn't buy me to win EPL. They already won that. They bought me to win the Champions League. And we have to touch on Erling Haaland scoring 5 goals in 57 minutes.
Why?
Defeating the likes of Leipzig, 7-0 after a 1-1 tie in the first leg. 5 goals, 57 minutes.
Business. Yeah.
And the type of goals he's scoring is just pouncing in the box. Any loose ball, is like the ball is attracted to him like a magnet. Yeah. So Real Madrid getting a better Liverpool, 1-0. They won the first leg 5-2. Benzema and formed 13 goals in the last 8 Champions League matches. So they have match winners. Napoli playing team football. Benfica playing team football. I would say 3 Italian teams in the last 8. First time since 2006. I hope this is a change in the God, because everybody's stuck on, EPL is the best league in the world. EPL. You see, there's only Man City and Chelsea.
Yeah.
So 3 Italian teams, 2 English league teams, 1 Portuguese team, and 1 German team. And you can't rule off Bayern. And still
Bayern playing good football.
Bayern or Man City, I don't know who to choose, but I have to lean with Pep. Erling Haaland, but it's going to be a close time. And Champions League will be on April 11th. First match, Benfica Inter and Man City Bayern. April 12th, Real Madrid Chelsea, Milan Napoli, and the reverse legs will be the April 18th and 19th. So football on the horizon coming up. And then we have the likes of Europa League, where Man U is tagged the favourites, Arsenal losing to Sporting. Juventus versus Sporting, Man U versus Sevilla. the winner of that. So we might have Juventus versus Man U. I picked those two to qualify. Feyenoord versus Roma and Leverkusen versus Union. I have Roma versus Leverkusen. So two Italian teams doing well in Europa League as well. One team left in EPL, Manchester United, tag favorites, and most of my friends are Man U fans, but I want that matchup because I'm a Juventus fan, so I want that Juventus Man U matchup. So a lot of good football going on. We have the leagues going on. We touch later on that, but right now we're at the midway point.
Yeah,
and it's time for sports commentary with the controversial boss.
Greetings, sports fans. 26,000 people online right now. Welcome to Primal Sports. And I'm the controversy boss with your commentary. Spice. You think Spice was pregnant? Spice, I mean, this had to be the publicity stunts. I mean, I've had it with publicity stunts. Spice can't get herself on the news enough, man. She have to go and put on a fake pregnancy in order to get a little publicity in Jamaica. I don't know what these people will do for publicity, man. There are so many ways for Spice to get a little publicity other than to pull a cheap publicity stunt. Surely you can get enough attention, man. Why do people pull publicity stunts? I'm going to touch on this later on. But Spice, man. Spice, publicity stunts. So, tennis. At Indian Wells, despite the fact that our big man is not playing because of the anti-vaccine stance, it's down at Indian Wells to the semi-final stage, right? So Medvedev is going to be playing against Tiafoe. Alcaraz is going to be playing against Sinner. No, you guys might not notice if Alcaraz wins this tournament, he will be the number one tennis player in the world. No, a system where the USA, right, have a system and is able to bar some players from playing because you're at the USA's pleasure, with the visa system. So will Alcaraz really be the world number one if he because Djokovic is not there? He's able to win these next two matches. I don't know. It puts the whole thing into disrepute. And the problem is that with World Cup coming up, you can see the problem that's going to happen. Can you imagine a baller from Nigeria or Russia who is not able to play a World Cup because the USA does not grant him a visa to enter the USA? And it's affecting even sports that aren't played in the USA. Some players cannot transit the USA in order to go to the Olympics to represent their countries and all that kind of thing. The IOC and all these sporting bodies need to work out some system with the USA where if you're going to represent your country in an international competition, the USA should grant these people free passage to pass through the system in order that we can have valid competitions. On the women's side, Swiatek has been beaten by the same person again, Rybakina. I think she's beaten her quite a few times now. And the finals is going to be between Rybakina and Sabalenka on the women's side. I don't know. I don't even know who is who now in women's tennis. I can recognize a few players. Coco Gauff, I can recognize her. But they all look the same to me. They are blonde Russians with various names, Sabalenka, and all this kind of thing. Tennis players are beginning to look somewhat very homogeneous now. Very difficult to tell them apart. We can't tell Jamaica apart from Trinidad. I think we can tell them apart now. Jamaica and Trinidad played 2 football matches, scored 1 goal between them. And I must tell you now, whether we want to admit it or not, Trinidad look like they have coaching because they played with a purpose that we don't seem to play with. Jamaicans, every time we get the ball, our priority seems to be to turn back the ball and consolidate possession. I don't understand. Even the second match played at the National Stadium, when we heard we were going to take it to them. Take it to them, That's a fighting words. All the Jamaicans did is frustrate the crowd. I could hear the crowd kissing teeth and cussing. Every time a Jamaican got the ball, he seemed more interested in going. Actually, we had the same interest as the Trinidadians, which is playing towards the Jamaican goal. We have to learn that in football, you've got to move forward. If you can't move forward, yes, move sideways. But I mean, it's clearly ridiculous to watch Jamaicans fighting, beating 1 man, 2 man to place the ball backwards. I mean, it was frustrating to watch the game, and I would be happy if we did lose the match. to be honest with you. I don't know. It was shambolic. Equally shambolic. Manchester City killing Leipzig in the Champions League. 5 goals down by the goal machine, Haaland. And you take off the man. The man is on the cusp of setting a world record, putting the record where it would never go again, right? He could have scored 9 goals, in my opinion. And Pep Guardiola took the man off. When the man was not tired, he was not happy, he was running havoc in the defense, and you take him off. Then when they asked him, why did you take the man off? He gave a nonsense explanation. The 1 hour 22, and what if he breaks the record now? There'll be no motivation later. Are you crazy? Records are made to break records after records. And the fact that Pep was conscious of this record, and then you took the man off, tells me, I didn't know they had this thing. They have a thing we have in Jamaica that clearly Pep have. It's called bad mind. Bad mind. Oh, you can take off. Alan, at that point of the game, it hurt me, man. It hurt me seriously. Usain Bolt could have set the 100 meters record in that race. Was it in London World Championships? Usain Bolt could have set that 100 meters where it would never be in question again. 9.3. The man was winning the race and start look around and doing all kind of thing. And you saw that race, guys. And wherever it was, man, he could have set that world record where it could not have been conceivably touched again. And now I hear them say that African youth went broke it. Tobago or something, right? Usain Bolt could have set it where it couldn't set. Haaland could have set it where it couldn't touch again. Sergei Bubka, you remember the pole vaulter? They used to pay Bubka a money every time he broke the world record. So he used to break it by 1 centimeter each time. We know he could have done 20 centimeters more. You know what I mean? When opportunity knocks once, make hay while the sun shines. Use any one of these things you want. But I mean, it really burned me, man. Some big table tennis going on in Singapore. Big table tennis. And I've been telling you, it's the best TT I've watched in a long while because every significant world player other than Timo Boll is there playing. It's now boiled down to the finals, the big finals. But if you guys get the chance, watch Quadri Aruna from Nigeria, who plays a lot like us Jamaicans. There's one left-handed Jamaican who plays like Aruna. Very ugly, but very heavy forehand. Kane Watson forehand also heavy, but he's not quite as ugly as Aruna. But Aruna beat world number 4 or 5, Tamakazu Harimoto. Big match. No excuses. And congratulations to the Nigerian. The finals is between the 2 best players in the world now, Fan Jindong and Ma Long. Ma Long is playing quite possibly the most perfect table tennis he has ever played. He said it himself. And if you guys get the chance, wake up tonight and watch Ma Long play Fan Jindong. I've never seen better table tennis. Table tennis now is on a level that it's on a level now that, I mean, it's truly entertaining. You guys have got to watch it. On a slightly lower level, there is a Caribbean table tennis championship going on in Guyana. And I look through the lineup and where is Jamaica? But I'm waiting on somebody to explain to me. I see the national coach over there. I thought he would be gone. I see
the national champion. Right
national champion over there. And here you have the people's champ. And nobody, we're all here in Jamaica. We're all here in Jamaica. Why is Jamaica here and not at the Caribbean Table Tennis Championship? Surely, with a country where the national team travels once a year, we didn't have enough time. Kane Watson to be prepared. Dale Parham, we didn't have enough time to know that there are things that need to be put in place to make the national team go. I hear that some juniors are traveling. What is the point of sending these juniors all over the place when your national team, it's not a senior team, it's your team. The table tennis team of Jamaica, the senior team, is the team. Don't try to divide up the thing. Why is the team sitting here on Primal? I'm glad to have them. But why are they here? I'm going to wait to hear from either the coach or the top player in Jamaica, or the best player in Jamaica, to say what's going on. Tonight, big rematch between Edwards and Usman. As you know, Edwards KO'd Usman last minute, and everybody's wondering, with my 100% UFC prediction record, what will happen tonight? I'm going to tell you all, it's a little secret between me and 25,000 Primal viewers. It's like a secret. But Usman is going to win this fight.
Yeah.
Usman is going to take Edwards down, and Edwards did not have enough techniques to escape. You guys can not sing it, but as a high-level jiu-jitsu person, I could see that Usman has not got the level of training that I have in not being taken down and how to get up. And he's going to have a difficulty when Usman takes him to the ground. This time, Usman is going to play safe and take him down. He's not going to allow the luck of the thing. So if you have money, put the money on Usman, because he's gonna take him down and kill him. Pretty soon the fight will be opening 2-3 rounds. Radam. Now, why did I say Radam? Radam. The Prime Minister of Jamaica brought a peanut dread into the Parliament of Jamaica to tell us that he's going to Radam crime. He's going to, his solution, the crime plan in Parliament of Jamaica. What is the crime plan, Prime Minister? Jamaica is getting out of hand. The Prime Minister's crime plan was to bring peanut dread into the Parliament of Jamaica and said that he's going to Radam the criminals. That's a publicity stunt. I expect that from Spice, but not from you, Prime Minister. That's sports commentary. What say you?
Radam. Oh boy, the show look colorful today. I was looking at the screen. 3 different color shirts, boy. I tell you, we should do this more often, but we like to be uniform. Yeah. This is a one-off, people. Don't get used to it. But yeah, the phone lines are open to people. We do want to hear from you. You can talk on any sporting topic. I mean, you can talk about anything what the controversial boss just said. And the phone lines are open 1-876-552-7406. And that's via WhatsApp only. 1-876-552-7406. All right. Radam, tell you. I mean,
interesting. Very interesting. One of the things that what I always, I don't understand the visa part,
Yeah.
United States. I hope soon, as Peter said, the World Sporting Body need to organize something, not just with America, but generally for sporting events, major sporting events, that is, the Olympics, World Cup football, all of these things. I can imagine it might be affecting a couple of players come the next World Cup, meaning that it's going to be host this side of the world. But
I've had those issues before as well.
Exactly.
Where my visa was expired and I had to travel all the way around the world to get to Japan, and that was tiring, to say the least. When we're from this side of the world, and the easiest route to most places is through the US, if not when you're going to the US.
And even you're going in transit. You're going on tour. I think it's time now.
Luckily, I sorted that out at that time afterwards, but at the time it was a rush trip, and I mean I remember going to Panama, to Holland, to Japan. I traveled for probably like 3 days, but I can see where that issue can arise again come the next World Cup. And Uncle Sam, just free up the thing. Man. Don't be so stringent. But I mean, I guess we understand
in terms of security issues.
We
know how that work out. But having in transit visas and so forth like that, I think that should be.
And in transit visas.
Transit visas, you don't.
If you're not going. Could be a solution, because there's a lot of different nations there in the US nonetheless, but
it's connecting flights, everything is almost through that side.
Why not? You don't have to leave the airport if you don't have a visa.
Exactly. But let us hope that very soon, the world can come to its senses and organize something more suitable.
For athletes. For the World Cup, that should be sorted, because that's a world tournament. But
you can. It
must be.
You never know. You never know.
There must be a way to get through that. I don't see any players not playing the World Cup because of visa issues. That would be a travesty.
Now we know about Novak because of his vaccination stance.
Oh yes.
So he will lose his number one. He will lose his number one rate rankings because Alcaraz is looking for him.
It's come 2026, I think there would be a vaccine issue, like for the World Cup. Can't enter the United States if you're not vaccinated.
See, here we go again. Because I'm sure a lot of the footballers aren't vaccinated.
Probably most of them are, but I mean,
you're gonna
probably have one and two
that's not vaccinated. That took the same stance as Novak. And it's only sad because Novak is trying to create more history in terms of remaining at number one, in terms of weeks at number one. It's kind of sad that him can't get to play in the Indian Wells, but it is what it is. I hope very soon, everything.
I mean, politics is tied in with sports, as
Yes.
you can say. Radam. yeah. Politics is tied in with sports, I tell you. But,
Yes. What do you make of what Peter said about Pep taking off, Alan? After about, Pep always have some crazy excuses and reasons. For remember when him drop De Bruyne and talking about De Bruyne don't play well against this team and
Pep always
some crazy excuses.
Yeah, he's a mastermind.
Yes.
Him see things different, and I guess.
So what are your thoughts on this? This man about to create history
And score more goals. 5 goals in 57 minutes. And as Peter said, he looked like he was on course to score 9 goals. But I think he'd have probably scored 1 more. Let him score 1 more and take him off. A double hat trick and take him off. But I don't know if he's trying to protect Messi's record.
That's the conspiracy.
But he's saying that he'll have other chances to do this. But how many chances will you have?
You'll never know. You'll never know.
Be on that form to score many goals. Call dropped a while ago. Didn't answer the call dropped. Hopefully that person will call back.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to, protect me. Because Messi a field boy already.
Of course. But
the match was done and dusted.
You never know. Could have a chance again in a Champion League and about to create history, score 7-8 goals in one match.
Let him score 1 more. But 57
imagine in the NBA them take off LeBron or they take off someone about to accomplish.
It's 98 points. And they take him off.
They would take off.
Mad.
Exactly.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports. Good afternoon.
Worthy gentlemen, I am so proud of the groupings.
Who is this, Mr. Todd?
That I have been listening to over the past few months from you guys. I'm not afraid to call my name. My name is Houghton Todd.
Mr. Todd.
Is playing in Jamaica.
No, of all time. Of all time. Yeah, of all time. Yeah, of all time.
Todd, please.
I will give you this though.
I'm saying you're the greatest player of all time.
I've seen you. I've seen flashes of greatness from you in a certain in a small time frame. So I'll give that to you.
In the champion category.
you
being so eloquent to the person you are.
Yeah, I think you create a lot of history with our $200 racket. I think it's amazing what you did
History,
at the age of 50.
History is something that is written. It is not written. Nobody knows about it.
At the age of 50 years old.
Okay.
And let me tell you something. And I call in because I'm happy seeing you guys, and I want to relay a point. Last night I was by one of the social corners, and I can call his name. Mark Phillips was there. Playing the left-handed way. And then I got a video with I won't say somebody who's falsely informed, saying that here are the 4 greatest players in Jamaica. Simon Thomas is saying, I look in the corner, I see Peter Moore-Young, Dale Parham, and I saw Kane Watson. And what came to mind, a lot of things. Hello, you hear me?
We're hearing you.
Yeah, man, a lot of things came to mind, Jamaica, 2 things, both in cricket and in table tennis. I blame administration for why there is failure. But it's administration of table tennis are in cricket. I'm not talking
generally, even in politics.
There is lack of progress to reach the highest level. You have to hold management responsible.
Accountable, yeah.
When I watch, and I'm going to show you that the connection between seeing Mark Phillips last night playing with the left hand, and he lost his game as usual. He's a loser when it comes to being a rookie. But and when I saw Simon saying what he said, I felt motivated. And then I remember when I came into table tennis at the age of 50 years old, right? I bounced and got the interest as a little boy back in the 60s, because I'm 64 years old. And I got the interest and I wanted to play. And somebody challenged me. And I was betting the person that I was better than them. And then I made up my mind that I wanted to become a good player. Then I kept hearing about people like Mo Young and Dibs and all kind of dude. And I wanted to bring, and the person who brought me in table tennis, Alfonso Morris, people won't push me in one direction, but I will complain with pimples and this and that. And I decided I want to play this little dead racket and create my own little, what should I say, my own little space.
Your own little style. You create your own style.
I believe I did. Just give me one second. I beg you to be with me.
Yeah.
I feel so happy with this.
You have 1 minute. You have one more minute. Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd.
Go ahead.
Yes. Quickly. I'll go now. And what I got to say was motivation. And I decided that I was going to find my own lane and space. And I took it, and today I have 9 trophies at home. Last some games that I shouldn't lose. Last one to Mark Phillips in the finals after 1.5 years of playing that, and I was at almost 53 years old. But I felt proud. You understand? And I have beaten some national players. I don't want to call them name because I lost some friends,
Yeah, no, please don't.
Right-handed and left-handed, another person that's right-handed.
Yeah, please don't.
Right? And I wanted to find a way to beat these guys. Funny enough, there's 3 persons that I have not beaten as yet. 4 persons, to be honest, 4 guys. Those are the 4 best in Jamaica because I came close to playing Kane jokingly. I went 2-9 that Mr. Kane wasn't. Dale Parham playing at a tournament at Wednesday and beat me 3 straight. But in the early stage of the game, because I still believe only I still can beat him. You understand? He's only about to do one time down at his office. And, for whatever reason, after
I think you're leading on to the administration.
I don't know how you got.
How you gone so far, Mr. Todd? How you gone so far? I thought you were talking about the administrative.
I believe that Simon Thompson is the week of the 4. But I believe the other 3 don't know it.
Yeah.
But then, I'm just making the point to say, I'm talking about motivation.
Yes.
Motivation, okay.
Motivation is really motivation. The last time I remember having a discussion on a certain Peter in life, not a Peter in the Bible, a certain Peter and I clashed over.
I think we need to call Avi as an interviewer on the show. One of these fine Saturdays. Because it sounds like you have a lot to say. And we're running out of time.
You have motivation. Finish on motivation,
because you have 30 seconds.
I do agree with the motivation.
We do agree with the motivation, and we do have other callers calling in. Give us your 30 seconds bit on motivation.
Can I pay for a minute more just exactly?
All right, I give you a minute and a half.
Who are you going to pay, Mr. Todd?
16 seconds. I like writing. I love writing. And listen to this, what I wrote about how teachers and coaches is supposed to operate, persons who are in charge. A teacher's difficulty in teaching seldom or almost never lies with the intellectual inadequacy of the student. They are not incapable in the mental and intellectual sense of the word. The difficulty lies in that either they will not accept the discipline and toil of learning, or they are out of sympathy with the teacher. So, teaching and learning depend on more than the wisdom and technique of the teacher, or the mental and intellectual caliber of the student. It depends on, listen to this part, this verb word is important, Mr. Peter Moyoung, the establishment of a relationship, of fellowship and trust between those who teach and those taught. Mental and intellectual distinctions are important, but fellowship is critical when related to a student. I have intimacy. And because I got that intimacy in table tennis, I beat a lot of people.
I think you need to write that quote for me. Could you write that quote for me and send it to me?
Guys, to continue the interactivity through communication and ensure lens of motivation. And once you keep doing that, Western is quickly going to get better because you to the full court like Phil Simmons, who participated and getting great goals and relate to people to teach you to participate. And don't have the management qualities. We'll bring people to table tennis and create the motivation. They have the aptitude, which is a natural ability to do certain things. Yeah. But because they don't have the motivation, the interest is not there for capturing their own lane in life. So I'm just saying to you, keep the communication going and keep the management close. And we create what they call the volume of a solid structure going forward.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Todd.
Hallelujah.
4 guys who said that they are number 4, the 4 best in Jamaica. I am going to return the table tennis with my dead racket.
Thanks, Mr. Todd. We catch you on the rebound.
Thank you very much. I believe it there.
Yes,
man, motivation.
Motivation, yeah. And I want to touch on that motivation because even so, Peter said something in his commentary, and he wanted to hear from the national coach and the national champion, current national champion, which is me, about non-participation in the Caribbean Senior Championships coming up.
Going on now.
That is it's started.
Started tomorrow.
But there's also the CSE qualifiers that's going on as we speak. So Jamaica table tennis senior team is not present in Ghana to represent the country. And to me, hold on a second. Have a next caller. Good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports. You caught me in the middle of my speech. I was about to give some breaking news, but go ahead, caller. You hearing us? You hear me? Yeah. You want to read? So you hearing? Yeah, we're hearing you.
Clear.
You hearing us? All right. I know who this is. This is the Citizen. Yeah, from I hear the voice, I know he's a Citizen. We were touching on the point earlier of Erling Haaland being taken off in the 57th minute after scoring 5 goals. I mean, we know, all right, City win, City qualify, got you. We know you think City going all the way. But what do you think of that substitution? Do you think that Pep should have left him on the field or just so take him off and give him some rest? Repeat. Oh, should I take him off earlier?
They never want him create no more history.
So after reaching 5 goals, you don't think you should make him stay out there and try to create history and score probably 6-7 goals? Yeah. At another time. So you think Haaland will get the opportunity to score 5, maybe 6 goals again in a Champions League tie?
He's very young. He's just 22 years old.
No, that's one of the mistakes in sports. I don't believe in... As a sportsman myself, and I'm getting up in age...
You don't know the future though.
As a sportsman myself, and I'm getting up in age, there's no such thing as too young or too old.
Yeah.
If the time now is to do it, I've left off of teams. I've been left off the teams because I'm saying I have next year.
I think he knows, he probably hears. I wasn't thinking about this at that time.
No, but you're out there and he's on farm.
Following the right choice of what the coach made because...
So why not take off De Bruyne as well? Why let De Bruyne stay out there that long?
Hello?
Why let De Bruyne stay out there that long and other key players?
Well, I don't understand that, but I think you say perfect. Key player.
Yeah, De Bruyne is a key player. If any little thing happen to him, to me, Haaland is more replaceable than De Bruyne.
Yeah, De Bruyne.
And I think more than key to Manchester City right now. I just can't see.
Yeah, but I think that De Bruyne is more critical to your Champions League success than Haaland, and De Bruyne was out there.
I think best at any given day, unstoppable.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
But at this farm was Alan in. He didn't at first. I think he is the missing link for our success.
Yeah.
So we have to do the right thing. Keep him fit and
So why do you think Pep took him off? Why do you think Pep took him off? Do you think that is to, salvage Messi's record? Because Messi had 5 goals. I know him and Messi tight, because that's some of the speculation.
Listen what I'm saying now. I really honestly don't understand why, but like I said, I didn't know if he was history chasing, but it's still in a part of history. Becoming the third player ever to do so.
Imagine scoring 6. If he had scored 6 goals, he'd still be the third person to score 5, but he'd be the first person to score 6.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
honestly, I wasn't thinking like that, and I didn't know about it, but I don't know, because today we play against a championship team in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And I'm pull him off from 53 minutes, but I am saying no. You couldn't take him off directly to play against Burnley today.
No.
I would understand.
Yeah.
I think he's keeping it in tune. I think Pep, this is what I'm saying. Pep gets a lot of bashing and criticize a lot.
Yeah.
Getting it wrong on the big occasion sometimes, and that's what cost us.
Yeah.
But I am more than 500% behind Pep Guardiola.
Okay.
I am there with him all the way.
We have a test of time in Bayern Munich coming up.
He's the master of this game. He changed the style of team play all over the world, wherever he goes, and he implies his tactics. And everyone at this point trying to fix what City is doing, and she's like copying us.
Yeah.
Even the current Premier League leader, so I know they cannot be tough because they can't play like it.
So that's why they can beat you, because they're trying to play like you. Well, we'll see in upcoming weeks, but we have an interesting tie against Bayern. I think that is a matchup of the round.
It has been an historical league also. Teams from the Syria in Italy.
First since 2006.
For the first time.
No,
I'm just looking at
no, not for the first time. It's not for the first time. It's the first time in years. No, first time since 2006. 3 Italian teams. Yeah, 3 Italian teams in the quarter. It's the first time since 2006.
Their first quarterfinal. They're looking very good also.
Yeah.
And we have an interesting time. The next leg.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying it's tough and end of the road for City, but trust me, it's going to be sweet. Guess what happened now? Nothing in life for me is it.
Yeah.
To be the best, you have to be the best.
And who is the best?
And if it's fire comes, we're going to take them apart.
And then
Next
no, it's going to be Real Madrid. Yeah.
I think this year will be our year. I always have that feeling.
Every year I have that feeling. From I know you, every year you have that feeling.
And I'm going to take my bet.
So Erling Haaland will be the difference. Erling Haaland will be the difference.
I strongly believe in that. And I back in from the first day in time for City, and I said to a couple of my friends, and I even started on this program also that Alan will bring us over the line.
Okay.
Time around. If we have
All right.
last year, just for one game, I'm going to find it out. Against Real Madrid, who come and beat us in the extra time phase of the second leg.
Yeah.
If we have Erling Haaland, that game wrap up from the first leg.
Yeah.
It will be ramping for pitching, maybe 8-9 clear goals. Easily.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I don't know if you guys remember that game. Sterling missed like about 4 empty chances.
Yeah.
Mahrez and Co. And I know it was going to come and I didn't want to start it out. You don't want to start things and it happened, but for me, it happened like that. Those chances have come back into hand and they will give up some, but
Yeah.
I think City is speaking and fighting for at the right time because look at that 13 goals.
Yeah. Well, it's crunch time now, and the season coming to its final leg. Time now, and the season coming to its final leg. Final 8. About 10, 12 games left in the league.
Yeah,
So it's crunch time now, and we'll see.
in the NBA also,
Yeah.
a lot of teams going out for the title.
Yeah.
I can guarantee 10 title challengers
No. Yeah, those are pretenders, man.
can win there.
No. Those are a lot of pretenders. Can't have 10 legit I don't think there's 10 legit contenders. I think some are pretenders.
Give me a team from the West. Give me 2 teams from the West.
And with great problem, and push teams in I think I will see a lot of the playoffs, game 7,
Yeah.
and game deciders. I'm seeing that.
All right.
All right, before we go, give away your conference finals.
Most conference.
Before we go, give us your conference finals matchups.
For both sides,
Yes,
Yeah,
West
for
and East.
West and East.
I give Philly, they're really underrated. Really. But sometimes when they don't talk about too much, less pressure on you, you have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
They go there with a clear minded, and more relaxed and can perform on the big occasion. And I think Jordan Beep is a monster.
Yeah.
He's going to
Definitely.
put in
He's in the MVP race.
I like them up against the Greek Creek.
Yeah. So Boston is out. Yeah.
And the other side, it's more difficult. I really like the Paula Jokic and company,
Yeah.
but them just always petered out and don't play as good enough as though they did in the early round. So I'm really reconsidering them, but still, if that's the case, because them have home court advantage and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other, so I think they will begin it, but just
Yeah.
and JD and
Phoenix. Yeah.
if they stay together,
Yeah.
it's going to come down to fitness.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks.
They will do it in the conference.
All right. Thanks.
All right, we'll have to leave it
We'll have
there.
to leave it there to Citizen. Thanks for the call.
Thank you, citizen.
All the time,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Right.
Blessings.
Bless up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I'm going to have a time.
Yeah, man. Philly box. Him have pretty hard.
No.
I wouldn't put Philly in it, but
Boston, Milwaukee.
Boston, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But I think pretty much you can't go,
And
you
to the
can't go
West,
wrong with that
yeah.
from Phoenix.
No, but and in the West it's down to health. Depends on who's healthy.
Who's healthy?
Because I think if Dallas get healthy, they can be in the mix. Phoenix, Lakers.
Let me see.
But the West is more down to
Back to your point.
yeah. I got mistruck there in the table tennis. Yeah, I was saying Jamaica is not being represented in the Caribbean Championships and the CSE qualifiers now in Guyana. And speaking as a player on the team, that leaves somewhat of, as Mr. Todd the caller said earlier, he was talking on motivation, leaves me demotivated. And right now, with my career in the twilight, and I think I have a little left in the tank, what am I to do? And I have to find some motivation and find a way to push on, because for one, I play the sport. I love the sport. I've been in and around the sport for over 20 years, and I'm at a level where I have achieved a few things. I mean, some locally and internationally. And to see with now where I can't get to represent my country at the Caribbean level. Plus, last year qualifying for the Pan Am Table Tennis Championships through the Caribbean Championships, because I went last year, made it to the top 16 and automatically qualified for the Pan Am Championships, and not being able to go to that, and now not being able to go to this
Qualifiers and the
CSC qualifiers and the Caribbeans leaves the year now in limbo. And where do I stand? I'm gonna stand now where
Did
that
the president explain to you as a player why you're not being allowed to represent the country?
lack of funding.
So you did have a meeting.
No, I got it via text.
He sent you a text, a personal text.
No, I sent it in a group. Yeah. Which to me I don't mind.
That suffice.
What's not suffice is not going.
It should not have been in a group.
I don't think
It should have been in a face-to-face meeting.
You
with,
see, I'm not sure how to
players,
pardon.
I don't want a face-to-face meeting.
Yeah,
Right now I'm in the position where I don't want to see or hear from anybody in the association.
Yes.
Right now I'm at the point of whether I should retire, continue, save what I've left in the tank for people who that are willing to push forward with not only me, a senior program, or so to say the best players in the country.
It's sad though, because
right now I'm in limbo of what to do, but really and truly, I think this association has gotten enough time and hasn't done little or nothing with the time. And I'm speaking out.
This happened before, deal?
In past associations, yes, I've not been sent to Caribbean Championship.
No. I mean, we're a team that is supposed to go to a championship a week before is told that they're not going. You have any recollection of that?
No, I can't recall that ever happening with a week to go. No,
Because
But,
I've been a past president of the association, and I know that if I had done that, you guys would have eaten me alive.
Yeah. You have been president before and you have gotten
No, because
public.
you do know that any good business works off a plan. You know what your incomes are.
Yes.
You know what your expenditure is. And therefore, you would have had to make whatever plans you needed, including begging. You could make plans to make sure that our best players go.
Everything was a little bit late.
But they knew this from last year.
Yes, on their part. So
last year,
I think they're
remember-
willing to accept that the tiredness of everything. Yes, so I don't think they
year
will
in the
deny
room-
that part, that they were late in terms
Caribbean
of
Championships last year.
organizing and getting things going on the ground. And you mentioned begging, which is an important part for a sport that is not being spread around the island locally to get sponsors. You
And
have to
even
go
so,
beg.
nothing is going on locally just as well.
Yeah, yes.
There hasn't been tournaments. And the few tournaments that do keep are basically private sponsors. One, the parent of a child. Two, another private sponsor.
Yes.
The national championships was held last year, one tournament.
It's a big
The
disappointment.
year before,
because-
it was forced and then played over 2 weekends.
Well, I can
when it
tell
was
you
postponed.
guys. I can tell you guys.
I didn't play that national
I have a
team.
lot of friends in Guyana, and players. Many of them are players, and they were certainly looking forward to seeing Jamaica come down.
Everybody was looking forward to seeing the team.
To hear at this stage that we're not having representation.
And then what's next for the year?
And
I don't know.
For the locally,
Yeah.
for the senior team,
Yeah.
for the Jamaican representative, what tournament is here? Because this is a
it's a major
precursor to other tournaments.
for everything for the year.
Everything
Yes,
for
I
the
know.
year. So the year is basically dead.
For pretty much for the senior team,
As a matter
the
of
year
fact,
is dead.
Yeah.
Once you don't
CSC
participate,
participation is based on Caribbean participation.
Yeah.
Yes.
As is Pan Am, as is Olympic.
World Championship as well.
As in World Championship.
Yes. So what
So if
are
you
we
can
doing?
play at the lowest level
Yes.
within your region,
you expect to
which
get
is
to
the Caribbean
third or
Championship.
fourth step.
Because ITTF have changed up a lot of things, so you have to participate whichever section of
And
the
who
world
is-
that you're in.
and
you
who
have
is-
to
who is held
participate
accountable
in
for
your-
all of this?
in your regional tournaments.
Well, you tell me.
Who is
You
held
guys
accountable?
tell me.
Because at the end of the day, I play the sport. Administrations change, they come and go. And what is it now for the future at table tennis? What is it?
I don't know. Many years ago, I told one.
Is it
player-
that they're invested in the juniors?
Yeah. Are they?
Are they investing in juniors?
You can't. I don't believe in investing in. You have to have a balance. You have to invest in both. And furthermore, your senior team is what's going to allow you to get funding.
Yeah.
You don't get funding through junior team. You have to represent yourself at the senior level in all sports.
But for years,
funding.
I've been.
And even so, why not the juniors are not on the senior team? As a junior, I was right there on the senior team or breaking.
No, that's because you're at a level.
Because I was at a level. And why was I at a level? Because of the seniors above me.
Correct.
And I was playing with them and I was pushing through.
Year after year, there's an attempt to drive a wedge or draw a line and say these players, we're working with only these young people. That's what we're constantly trying to do.
And even so, I as a junior, I have never been to a Caribbean Junior Championship.
Yes.
I've never been to. I've never been to. As
No,
a top,
mention
and I
it.
was a top junior.
Yeah.
As a junior, I was top 10 in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I was playing at a level where, I mean, obviously I got better over time.
Yes.
I've never stopped playing the sport. I see juniors now, they have been retired and come back and play and all of that. And then who to say, I can guarantee you a couple years from now, how much of these juniors will be playing?
That's the problem.
And that's why there's a gap in between.
If the juniors made half the commitment that the older players made, they'd be better.
Yeah, I don't mind
not
traveling
making
on a
it-
senior team with juniors.
Yeah, then,
But they have to step up and make the
It
team.
go back to administration, and don't blame the juniors.
No,
for
I'm
it.
not blaming the juniors.
It is an organization problem. You have to have a balance. You must always have senior players playing. You must always create incentive for your seniors because
but
the seniors
I am not
drive
bashing the juniors.
to improve.
Yes, and I'm not bashing the
Yeah.
juniors. Let's come down to my point. You're saying there has to be a balance.
Of
But it's
course.
not like they're investing in the juniors and they're not investing in the seniors.
Well,
There's not investing in nobody.
I tell you,
So I'm
yeah.
saying this to say this is why the juniors are suffering as well. And I
Yes.
think there's definitely talent because I see some kids here and to the likes of people who, if they didn't give back to the sport, like for one, Colin McNeish, for two, Dale Parham, just to name two, and their kids and juniors, there are more out there,
Yeah.
just to name two. And these two, and their juniors, that is the reason why they're stepping up, not because of the
Yes.
association.
Yes.
So the
Absolutely.
association is not investing in nobody. So why waste time? Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
I almost didn't call because I was enjoying that little conversation.
Well, we get back to the conversation after the call.
So I'm going to just make it quick.
Sure.
I really want to hear what you have to say. I see you're very passionate about it.
And I don't really like talking
for
about table
once,
tennis.
for once.
And to me, I don't really like talking about table tennis that much. But
It's in the voice and it's in the action. So,
yeah.
when
No, something has to be done. Something has to be done. Trust me. And I have to go and speak about it publicly. And I said, yeah.
I didn't enjoy it. I had two issues. The first, the coach complained about Jamaica's field, and for some strange reason, I don't know why, he allowed the players to play on that field in Montego Bay, which was atrocious. When you have other fields close by that you could use, I don't know why.
Oh, is that feel so bumpy? It was very bumpy, you know?
And he's the one who complained about the fields in Jamaica. Why
Yeah.
did you allow him to play on that one?
Yeah.
Why you leave your sanctions to play on that field? And you are the one complaining about it.
True.
Anyway, we leave that alone. Now you're back in Kingston now, National Stadium, and the players just look like a group of individuals. I don't know if it's a whisper effect. Everybody wants a contract overseas now. They didn't look organized. The decision making in the final period was atrocious. They don't know when to shoot from, when to pass, and when to kick out.
True.
Yeah.
Fundamental.
This excuse about, they are not gelling together. And
Yeah.
we see other countries have players playing in different leagues across the world, and at some point in time they have to come together. And they make it look so easy. They look like a group of players that have been playing together for a long while. So why is it that when we have a few local players and they're together for 1 week, you can't follow simple instructions? Football is an instructive game.
Yeah.
Pass and moves. And you shoot when you see the chance to shoot.
Yeah. It's more technical than that, but you break it down in a nutshell. X's and O's.
Right across the field. From the coaching comes straight down with the score and I couldn't even be able to watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think we couldn't bear that boy, we're just frustrated. But
So you put that blame on the coach?
I do hope them find a resolution and find a way to
Yeah.
fix Jamaica senior team.
Mm.
And when I look at one of the biggest things I notice about other countries and other teams, when I look at their starting 11 or the squad that they're bringing out, sometimes more than 85%, I call it 85% of the squad are local players that play in their home country, local.
Domestic league, yeah.
Spain, Brazil, well, exception of Brazil, Spain, Brazil, England, Italy. When you look at the squad and you look at the clubs that players are coming from, it's mainly within the country itself. And we don't adapt that. We dropped that concept from 98. We don't want no more local ball. We lose them for the first part of the campaign and that's it. We need to bring that back to the fore. We have a group of local players, even if it's 11, and we have that 11 that we keep. We have probably the next 5 or 6 international players. And I think that is the way forward when it comes to Jamaica football.
Yeah, but we have more than 5 or 6 local players that will play a part. I mean, no, but not now, but we'll use them eventually. The captain, Andre Blake, Damian Lowe, Liam Bailey, Mikel Antonio, just to name a few that will definitely be in the mix when time come to play. So, it's to get all these players.
Football is not there, but we're going to leave that alone. Track and field is back. It is Albion Rising chances coming up.
Yeah.
The Clayton Twins are out there.
Yeah. Jaden Hibbert jumping a national, a world junior record.
And Kume,
Yeah.
looking
10-1-8. Looking,
like he's ready.
Dr. Speed.
I'm saying more go on a 10 for champs.
I'm saying more run sub 10 for champs.
Sub 10 more run for champs.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That young lady, I think is Heidelar, same catching Alana Reid.
Yeah.
She's the next big thing. I saw she and Serena Cole
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
For this year, for the girls' champs, I don't know who will win that 100 meter, but
And 200.
they look hungry.
Yeah.
You know, the senior players, the senior track stars are there. Again, the female side, I don't know who going to select that team, but I didn't expect the twins. Now I expect them then next year, a couple years now, but look as if they're determined, they have that fire in them.
And in the right camp. So the sky's the limit for them. Once you stay healthy, the sky's the limit.
Brianna Liston is still there.
Yeah.
Brianna Williams is still there. I don't know who's going to select that team.
They're going to select themselves.
Remember
They're going
the
to have a
Charles
chance.
coming up in June. You know?
They're going to select themselves. They're going to be a Charles.
The female side, look. Probably some of the females need to run for the men.
As Dale said, the female holding up the front for a while now.
Yeah.
So, NBA looking good. You guys say the Lakers. I don't think the Lakers going to make that.
I'm just saying, depends on who's healthy. If they get a sniff of a chance and sneak in,
Golden State, you know, them look at time the last couple of games. So we just rack up some wins.
Golden State can't win on the road. The Kings seems to be the surprise package of the West. Dallas is injured. Clippers to me are just perennial failures. Denver has never done it before. Phoenix injuries with KD. So the West to me is wide open.
Funny enough, I think the Clippers.
The Grizzlies have their Jamarant issues.
The Clippers, yeah.
So just to name a few off the top of my head.
John Morant out for 8 games.
No, he's back soon. But the ones he missed is already
the ones counted.
So he'll be there in the week to come, should be. So
that's my 2 cents. I'm going to go up there and think that.
All right.
All right, thanks.
All right, One Prime. Thank you.
No, I'm definitely not ready for retirement, but some people have to go retire. And it's not me. I play the sport, and at the end of the day, you have to beat me out of the sport. And hey, Peter tried it and he never do a good job, so yeah.
The motivation to your right and the coach to the left.
Yeah. Peter tries to keep me motivated. It wasn't for Peter, and Simon leave me out in the cold, but I tried to get him back as well. Yeah. All right. One Prime. All right. Before I go back to that, I want to touch on a bit of the track and field where I have to give big up to Jaden Hibbert, jumping a world record in indoor. World junior record indoor, 17.54. Not just a national, well, also a national record, obviously, but it's a world record, 17.54. National record, Akira Nugent, 7.72 in the 60 meter hurdles. indoor national record, Kerry McLeod 8.40 and Wayne Pinnock coming fourth in 8.33, a close fourth. So those doing their thing on the NCAA
The drums.
circuit. So I mean, we have athletes all over, not only locally but abroad, doing well. So I have to keep note on that. And the highlight of that is Jaden Hibbert jumping the world junior record indoor triple jump 17.54. Look forward to him breaking the world record, junior outdoor record soon, because I mean that kid is something special.
I think Ibanks have the senior one. It's about 18 meters.
I don't think it's so much. No, junior.
I know. The
Junior, I think
senior,
is
the thing is
17.60. I have to double check that one, but he's somewhere close to that mark, or 17.50. But I'm looking out for him to break that record as well. So tracks on the horizon as well, and next week after next is Boys and Girls Champs. And boy, I mean that's one of the greatest show on earth. So after World Cup, I think it's Champs for me. Champs is electric. Yeah. So yeah. So back to my ranting, I was saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Where was I?
Your mid-rant.
Through my mid-rant. So yeah.
Association have to do better. Obviously, they have to do better in terms of planning.
We have had guests on the show and callers. For example, Keith Garvey saying that they have had enough time, and we will be like, because of the pandemic, and they might need more time. But pandemic is gone. Time has been had.
Everybody else had the pandemic.
Everybody else had the pandemic.
In their defense, one thing is needed is that they need more people.
And people have left the association.
Yeah, they're short-handed. They need more people, and but the biggest thing is just the vision for me. Yeah. Seeing come out of the I'm at top about the 70s and the 80s. Try to get more modern with our approach, how we do things, in
hold
all
on,
areas.
Deal. I wonder if you guys watched the old episodes of Primal when we had Godfrey Monroe on. Not the last time, the first time he came on. The man presented a blueprint.
Yes.
Shout out to Godfrey. A blueprint for how to make your association a modern one, and what to do and where to get money and all these things. Even the last time he came on, you remember, Dale? I saw you taking notes because the man is like a lecture. The man was like giving you a presentation as to how to finance, fund, promote your table tennis in a country, how to make the connections with the Chinese, like what he did.
Social.
And you know what is up? If these people are paying attention to Primal, they wouldn't have the problem you're having now. It's a truth, Kane.
And back on the point you're saying, I'm definitely not knocking the juniors. And I think that where they are now, they should be ahead.
Of course.
I see some of these kids that are able to beat me now, but they probably don't see it with themselves and probably don't believe or get enough playing time at that level to actually do it, because
they don't get to play against you guys,
Yeah, just to name a few: Aziz Johnson, Joel Butler, Joel Lamb, Logan Royce, Conroy, who to me stopped and came back, and to me is one of the most talented ones out of all of them, and only if he believed in himself. And I see where now he's back. So I'm definitely not knocking the juniors. To me, they should be kicking me off the senior team, or even so playing with me on the senior team. Because I think I'm still at that level to compete and play, which I've done. Because even last year was at the Caribbean Championship was my first tournament after the pandemic, and being away, I still performed somewhat decent. I think I could have been done better. I definitely could have done worse. I made the top 16 in Cuba, and I qualified for our games, and after that, nothing was done.
Yeah.
You see where the Commonwealth Games, the whole debacle with Simon Tomlinson and being left off the team, where to me that severed a lot of connections and communications within the associations for a reason that financially would not benefit you at the present time and in the future. We see where Solisha Young now is absent from the national foray.
The national champion did not even try out for the national female champion did not try out.
I've been playing tournaments.
What is happening with
she hasn't been playing tournaments, so it's either she's on a hiatus or stopped.
What is happening?
Simon stopped. Solisha looks like she's on a hiatus. I am I'm going to play table tennis, but I'm not going to play for them.
Yeah, but
I'm going to play table tennis.
Who's keep maintaining a relationship?
What is going on?
As I said, they're shorthand.
What am I going to play for now?
Problem.
Yes.
And not just a community, just vision.
Yeah, what am I going to do for the rest of the year?
Problem that's
win one more
now.
national championships and then say, oh Ray, I'm a national champion again. And what?
Yeah.
And then after qualifying for the Pan Am Championships, I remember in Cuba, we were in the room and I went off another mid-rant. I have my times where I rant. I ranted for like 15 minutes and persons in the association were in the room.
Yes.
And people were texting my phone and congratulating me. And I said, what are you congratulating me for? I said, I don't want any congratulations. Am I going to go? Oh yes, man, I'm going to ensure I'm going to make sure I'm putting things. I said, I have to see that happen. Because I see where it happened. Nothing is being done. I come home, people text me, oh, congratulations to Kane Watson and Solisha Young for qualifying and they did well. And people in the association, friends. I'm like, what are you congratulating me for? I have to go there and I have to do something, which I didn't go. Now come around now. I have a chance now to compete again and qualify again. I'm not competing. There's nothing left for the year.
It's wrong.
So what am I going to do?
The fact
play
is that
national championships
if
again?
you don't get to
guys, you have 1 minute, all right?
if you don't get to pursue your ambitions, then what even the people who are coming behind you
are going to do.
Where's the motivation for them?
Yeah, what is it for them?
It's going to create the same kind of
and I
situation.
think we the seniors can help the juniors.
Same thing,
It's going to come back to the same thing. That's why there's a gap between
There's a gap.
Me and Simon in age.
Yes.
Simon and Mark.
Yeah.
Mark and who's after Mark? The juniors. There's a next 10-year gap.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a gap on who plays and who stays to play because there's no motivation there. There's nothing being done. The same mistakes being repeated and the same people, as I said, with the so-called 70s, 80s mentalities and stuck in that. I mean,
we need to get more modern.
And at the end of the day, I play the sport.
Yes.
All right. Well, you have used up a lot of ear time.
Yes.
You guys started me up. I didn't want to touch on that topic.
I'm sorry we got him started.
I didn't want to touch on that topic.
The clock on the wall there.
Yes. We're out of time, people. So thank you again for joining us for another exciting episode of Primal Sports. I'm your host, Dale Parham.
And I'm Kane the Schwab Watson. Up next, we have DJ
I remember,
Q.
guys, it's 3 o'clock now, not 4.
Yeah.
Our time.
Yeah, time has changed. So the show will be airing at 3 o'clock from now on. Daylight saving time. And up next is DJ.
Yes, and big up to our listeners on Fit FM 96.7.
And all the listeners on Facebook, Primal 4K app.
Yeah.
And we always have to pick up the controversy boss.
Yeah, man.
Always keep it controversial.
And shout out to the Peanut Dread. Radam.
Peter Jed, right now.
Radam.
All right. Up next is DJ what? Clue?
Q.
Q.
DJ
All
Q.
right.
One love from the Primal Sports Decks.
Peace.